Hey guys, it is another Idol here and we are back inside of Destiny, and today we are going to be talking about how to prepare yourselves for the upcoming DLC, The House of Wolves. Now, there is a lot of new content that is going to be dropping with this release. A lot of people will be starting to prepare their characters, and a lot of people might not know what to do. Well, this video is for the people that don't know really what to do. I'm going to give you a rundown of the things you can do to help prepare yourself for the impending release of the next expansion of Destiny. First of all, we'll cover some of the basic. Let's look at currencies, factions, and then we'll move on to things like gear. So with the release of the Dark Below, we had the introduction of a few new currencies, things like exotic shards and the radiant materials. Old currencies started to become less and less relevant and started to stack up in your vault, and these were hardly used, if at all. With the release of the House of Wolves, however, this changes. One of the big changes in the House of Wolves is the use of commendations. These are no longer needed for the purchasing of gear and can be used as a consumable to gain 250 reputation. And commendations are leaving altogether. Another big change is that the speaker is going to have a currency exchange system. So what should I do with all of these currencies to prepare effectively? Well, let's start off with some of the basic currencies such as Mote of Light, Strange Coins and Glimmer. So you will want to make sure that your Glimmer is as close to the cap as possible near launch. Glimmer is the universal currency in Destiny and is used to purchase a lot of items. There have already been some prices released, with the new Awoken ship on the reef costing a whopping 17,500 Glimmer. The speaker also has a service charge for the new currency exchange, and this is around 50 Glimmer per transaction. This amount can add up quick if you're going to use it. The best thing to do here is to stock up on consumables such as network keys, house banners, silken codexes and axiomatic beads. Having a pile of these within your vault is a good way to stockpile Glimmer past the 25,000 cap. It's also worth noting that class materials and weapon parts are going to be used more and more, so if you don't already have a massive stockpile, start farming engrams and dismantling the armor and the weapons that you get from them. Motes of Light, as many of you know, are fairly easy to obtain from many of the activities within Destiny. So what are these going to be used for within the House of Wolves? Well, aside from the usual uses of purchasing the speaker's legendary class items, the Iron Banner reforging and those oh so tempting exotic engrams from Xur, Motes of Light are going to be required for the new reforging system, in which you can re-roll the reforge ready legendary weapons at the gunsmith. Now, these reforge ready weapons are brand new to the House of Wolves. These are vendor weapons with a special perk called Reforge Ready. This now gives the gunsmith a brand new use, and it is also rumoured to be that Motes of Light are also going to be used as a buy-in currency for the Trials of Osiris. I can hear you now. You are asking yourselves, there aren't enough activities to get Motes of Light easily from in Destiny. Well, you're right. But Bungie are fixing this with the introduction of the currency exchange at the speaker. Currently, Radiant and Ascendant materials can be traded for Motes of Light at a 2-to-1 ratio. It is best to start hoarding these now to prepare. The first week Xur is in the tower after release should be a good one, so try and save a few motes for the chance to get a new exotic from engrams that he has on offer. You could also use these to reroll some of the new legendaries that you've acquired through faction packages, for example. Strange coins do not appear to have any new special uses, so this is the same old typical currency that you are used to. One thing that will be in demand, however, will be exotic shards, and these will be required to upgrade your exotics to the new attack and light levels. Each shard is 7 strange coins, so make sure you have enough coins for shards so you can upgrade your standard rotation of exotic gear at launch. You can easily get 27 strange coins every week just by completing the heroic weekly on level 30 across all 3 character slots. If you do this every week up until launch, you should have a nice amount of coins going into the House of Wolves. Okay, so now let's take a look at factions and their packages. this is probably the best way to get some super sweet loot early on in the DLC. The tactic that many people will be using is known as edging, and this is simply leveling up the faction just before its next level in order to get a package super quick. Please note though that if you are doing this, you will need to be at least level 2. Packages only start appearing once you hit level 3. To get the most out of this, you should ideally do this across all 3 characters if you have the time. Don't worry about it if you don't. Mainly the hardcore Destiny players will be doing this one. If you can only do it across 1 character, then that is fine. You still have a good as chance as any is to get in some gear. You will need to be particularly aware and attentive whilst doing this. You need to know what kind of gear and faction item you are wearing at all times. You can accidentally level up a faction without knowing if you're wearing the wrong gear, and it could mess up your plans. So please be aware of what you are currently wearing whilst doing this. With these packages, you have the possibilities to get the new armor and weapons that is launching with the House of Wolves, as well as the usual sought after shaders and ships. Whether there are going to be new shaders and ships within these packages is yet to be known, but hopefully Bungie will surprise us with some new goodies. It is probably not worthwhile saving faction packages to open with this when this DLC hits. It is rumoured that Bungie are limiting these packages to pre-House of Wolves roles only. The only packages that are worth saving would be public events packages. These offer 5,000 experience per package when opened and will count towards the new armor and weapons, so you can level up your new gear extremely quickly. It might also be a good idea to save those 5,000 XP bounties closer to release so you can upgrade your new gear even quicker. So we've covered some important stuff with factions and currencies, so now let's talk about gear. Well, the short of it is that there's not really that much to talk about. We all know that legendary gear can be upgraded to the new light and attack levels through the use of etheric light and ascension. You can now mix and match your way to level 34, so at max level you will no longer look the same as every other guardian running around the tower. I think this is a fantastic addition to this DLC and is very welcomed. This is a good time to get gear with perks that you want and stats to balance your intellect, discipline and strength, tailored to your build. Do you spam grenades, for example? Then make sure your build is more discipline heavy. There is plenty of time to run through raids such as Crota's End and look for a piece of armor that satisfies your needs. At the end of the day, the point here with this is to have fun. Don't fret too much about getting everything in place before the drop of the DLC. These tips are there to help you to potentially progress a lot faster than the average Joe going in. House of Wolves is proving to be a massive expansion to Destiny universe with a lot of interesting changes. That about wraps up what you can do to prepare for the House of Wolves. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time inside of Destiny.